Hi everyone, it's Tammy from Tammy Colors 2, and welcome to day 2 of our exciting trip in Color Around the World with me. And in this series of videos, and this is day 2, um, I can link video 1 if you would like to see it, or sorry, day 1 of our trip. And we are exploring a set of books by Jen Racine known as the Explore the World series. And there's a set currently of 6 books. There's Europe, Central and South America and the Caribbean, Africa, Mexico, and the United States. And in day 1, we visited Ohio, where I am from in the United States. And I'm not thoroughly thrilled with this picture, but his learning experience. So that was Ohio. So what I decided to do was, rather than go through one book, and I figured we'd jump around the world, right? So we're visiting different places. So what I have done is I have cut all of these places in these books up into little strips of paper, and they are living in this jar. And then I will draw one out in every video. So maybe I'll take a break in the middle and we can draw. I don't necessarily want to wait till the end. I don't know when the best time to draw is at the end. Maybe when we get back from our trip for the day we need to draw, we can try different things. So today, because I didn't have that prepared, I decided to go to Manitoba, Canada, because I have a friend that lives there. So we are visiting Manitoba, and the way that she did the Canada books, I think because there just aren't that many provinces in Canada, she did the national parks also, so you get the province and the national park. So we'll be kind of coloring 2 pages today. I got to decide what color to make the national park. It's probably going to be a green color, but I have marker colors pulled out for this. I was going to try to use some other mediums. I really wanted to use my Bible highlighters on some of this, but they just didn't like this Amazon paper, which I knew it just wouldn't look right. So we're going to just go with some marker and pencil if we want. And let's get started. So this is day 2. We are going to Manitoba, Canada, which is not that far. I think it would take about a day for me to drive there from here, at least to Winnipeg, which is at the bottom. It is in the middle. There's a map. Okay, so this is Canada right here. And then here is, I'm in Ohio, which is right down here. So Manitoba is right here, kind of in the middle of Canada. Actually, it is in the middle. So, yeah, I'm going to have to color. I guess what I should do is color this map, like as I color these also, because I'll use the same. I decided what I wanted to do was I looked up a map of Canada, and let me find, so it's kind of like this. And so I'm going to make it, because we're used to seeing the maps like pastel colors, so I'm going to make the different parts of Canada the same kind of colors of these maps, as good as I can get it. So for if I can find it, and then we'll just make the parks all green. All right, so we have different animals and things. I've got a base color of Rainflower Purple from Ohuhu, and I'm going to try my Copic BG23, which I think is ocean blue or something like that, for the water to see how I like it. So we'll make some waves, and then I'll figure out probably, I don't know what color I'm going to paint the rest of this outside, but we'll see. Anyway, paint, color, whatever. And we're going to talk about Manitoba, or what I could learn about Manitoba and the cool things. And then I'll have to find out things about the national park as well. I'm going to try to keep these videos around an hour so that we're not too long. You know, I think an hour is a good time. I've pulled out colors for my buffalo and my owl and this, the prairie crocus and the white spruce. So let me start with the white spruce, which I think is this one. Yeah. I laid them in different parts and I relatively know what everything is, but there's some similar colors. All right. So, Manitoba, oh, shoot, 1 second. I gotta look up one more thing. Okay, so I had forgotten to get basic information about Manitoba. All right, so let's get started on this. Get this situated right here. I guess I'll bring you in a little bit. I'm going to try not to turn it sideways, but okay, so we've got the buffalo in here and the pine cones. Okay, maybe I should use a fine liner for those. I didn't think about that. How, I don't know if I have one that's a good fit for, maybe this. Okay, that was easy. So Manitoba is a province in Canada, which is in North America, the continent of North America. So it's Canada's 5th most populous province. I didn't look up to see what the most populous province was. I'm assuming it's going to be Quebec, but I could be wrong, because I don't know a whole lot. I don't know as much as I should about Canada. My lightest color, here it is. So we're going to just do these pine cones here. It has a population of 1,342,153 as of the 2021. I'm assuming it was a census. Its capital is Winnipeg, which is right here, all the way at the bottom. It's populated, Winnipeg is also its largest city, by the way. And I know from a friend that it takes about, well, I think she lives up in here somewhere, but it takes her about 8 hours to get to Winnipeg. So it's quite a large province. I have never been there, personally, physically been there. It was been populated by the indigenous peoples, or indigenous peoples have populated this Manitoba for approximately 10,000 years. So it was like the English and the French that came in, I think, in the 17th century, and started establishing the settlements. It was Trying to figure out what they call it. Country before. The Confederation of Manitoba was the 15th of July, 1870. So I think it was the fifth one to become confederated in Canada. Let's see. Put nice pine cones here. The provincial tree is the white spruce. So let's see if I can color these in. This may take a moment of concentration because I need a lighter color though. Because I have an idea, but I don't know if this one will work or not. Because they're all dark. All of my colors are dark. I know that there is an indigenous peoples called the Métis people that have been there. So they are still a large part of Manitoba. I don't know if it tells me how many. Oh, hang on. Let's see if it tells me how many there are. May not have printed that off. I know I read it somewhere, but I don't remember what it was. So the total area of Manitoba is 647,797 kilometers, or 250,116 square miles. Oh, neat. I'd forgotten I read this the other day. Manitoba they think it derives from either Cree, Manitowoc, or Ojibwe, Manitoba, both meaning Straits of Manitou, the Great Spirit. Alternatively, it may be from Assiniboine, Manitoba, meaning Lake of the Prairie. All of those are good. I mean, personally, it's probably all of them. They all mean the same thing, you know. Why does it have to be one thing? Excuse me. I'm trying to do kind of a light, put a little bit of a light color in here, but I don't know how light this color is. The allergies are real. I'm telling you. Oof. Get a number of light colors in here, and then we're going to do some dark and see how it goes. Okay, that's going to drive me nuts. Oh, pretty. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. So, Manitoba is known for a lot of things. There are a lot of cool things to see in Manitoba. It obviously two has two national parks, I think. Yes, Riding Mountain and Wapusk National Park. So, which is cool. National parks are very cool. I intend to start a national park series. It's the polar bear capital of the world, which there's a place called Churchill, which I don't know where it is. Hudson Bay, which I'm guessing is up here. I should have actually looked at a map of Manitoba, shouldn't I? That would be cool. To see like where all the cities and stuff are. Here, let me pull one up just because. The things I need to think about before I start. Where are the cities of Manitoba? We need a map of Manitoba. Oops. So 1 second while we pull up a map so I can see where things are. All right, yes, I was right. So Churchill is right here. No, right here. On the map. And this is, well, you can't, she doesn't have the rivers on here, but there's the Churchill River. The Wampus National Park is like right up here. So the polar bears, which makes sense, the polar bears would be close to the water. So it's famous for its polar bear population. So I guess a lot of people come there to see the polar bears, which would make sense. I don't know what, I assume, well, I think I read, actually, I'm not going to assume. I read that the temperature fluctuates a lot from the bottom of, from the, yeah, here it is. It has an extreme continental climate, so temperatures and precipitation decrease from south to north and increase from east to west. So temperatures exceed 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit numerous times in the summer, and a combination of heat and humidity can bring the humidex value to the mid 40s. I guess Carmen, Manitoba, which is probably at the bottom. I don't think I see Carmen. I'm probably getting this all wrong. I don't see it on this map, so let's just find it. But where are you? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's at the bottom. That's why I thought Carmen's like over here. I can't see my finger. Carmen is like over here on the map. Kind of down here. Not that far away from Winnipeg. But it's like the second highest humidex ever. So it's more humid down here than up here, which would make sense. I assume the temperatures up here are cooler relatively than as you go to the south, but that's pretty normal no matter where you go in North America. That's why we have in America, we have the north and the south. And the south is always warm. That's why people go to Florida at Christmas time. So yeah, we got that. We got polar bears, which are cool. So if you want to see polar bears, go to Manitoba. I haven't asked my friend if she's been up to see the polar bears. Of course, if she watches this video, she can tell me. Chelsea, have you seen the polar bears? That would be cool. I mean, we need to do more to conserve the polar bears, but you know, climate changes. So I think I almost got this done right here. I don't think. I didn't expect this one to take so much concentration. But there is my white spruce. All right. So then we've got our bison, which is down here. Let's see. So they also have beluga whales, which is amazingly cool, which is also in here in the bay. I mean, beluga whales, awesome. They've got whales, they've got polar bears. Man, that is the place to go. So let's see, I have a picture of a plains bison, which is very exciting that they are still around. At least here in America, they were endangered. All right, so I need my two darkest colors, which I think are these two. I need to check it out really quick. I should have a paper off to the side, but do I? No, I don't. All right, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna try this. All right. We're gonna do some marker blending on our little buffalo here. We're gonna make some dark spots, and then with our second darkest color, I come out here and we're gonna blend those out and kind of make it patchy. And then when it dries, it always looks better when it dries. So that should work. And then I have a gray color for his little hooves and his horns. Oh, I don't know what color his nose should be. I think his nose is probably just a light color. So let's see what else. So the beluga whales. So there are over 50,000 beluga whales that the Hudson attracts, and with 4,000 migrate to the Churchill area. That's a lot of beluga whales. So I guess people go kayaking and stuff up there. And then, of course, which I didn't know until I started researching Manitoba. Oh, I forgot to finish my pine cones, didn't I? I did part of my pine cones and then didn't finish them because I wanted to do, a little darkness. We're just gonna dot them up here. Because they're so small. I mean, doing a bunch of work. So I'm just kind of dotting these with some stuff. And then what we're going to do is come back with, hopefully, it's not the right color. I have a feeling that I have gotten my brown mixed in with my other browns. I don't have I gotta find it. But it's a reddish brown as opposed to where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go back over it. Oh, shoot. Shoot, fire. I gotta fix that. One would think I would have been prepared to fix it. Okay. There, they look better. I might do a little want to say white gel pen on it, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's see. We're gonna move this over just a hair. We're gonna finish this buffalo. We're gonna do. Excuse me. Was my darkest and my next to darkest color. I think that's going to come out rather well, actually. So what else? They have a National Historic Site located in Winnipeg at the confluence of the Red and Assiniboine rivers. They're a historical destination for cultural events and schedules. So I guess they have like a bunch of festivals down there by the rivers in Winnipeg. I can't color and talk at the same time, can I? They have a Canadian Museum for Human Rights, which is in Winnipeg. It was the first national museum built outside of Canada's capital region. It's dedicated to exploring and promoting human rights awareness and education. Let me get this down here really quick. I think I'm going to have to learn how to voice over to do these. Just color my buffalo. There's words I never thought I would say. Color my buffalo. And try not to make him look jinky. Let's see, there's those two colors. I need a little bit lighter color. Let's try this one because I think he's a little bit lighter. I'm not convinced that that's lighter. Anyway, weird. Oh, because I'm pulling from the wrong pool of markers. Wow, it's going to be a banner day, isn't it? That's what I was looking for. It's okay. He has varied fur anyway, right? We'll make it look better. Because now it's okay. We can fix this. We can fix this. All is not lost. Sometimes when it comes to me and markers, I swear we don't have a good relationship. I gotta figure out how to fix. Well, I hesitate to try to fix it with that. But I could maybe use a bad idea to make something bad better. I don't know. But that's not terrible. Okay. He just has dirt on his back. You know, he's been rolling around. Got a little dirt on there. As per usual, here I am having to clean up my sloppy mess. A little bit. Just want to lighten that up some. Okay, that's not a bad looking buffalo. Again, words that I did not think that I would say is that's not a bad looking buffalo. Right, so this is going to be lighter. Let's see, is this pretty light color? Yeah. We're going to use a different kind of lighter color here, but it's a darker color because this is like that fur that they always have on their shoulders, assuming you've seen a plains bison. If I didn't show you, which I'm sure I didn't, I'm using my Arteza, for the most part, my Arteza Everblend markers because I'm trying to use them and use them up. It's not a color here. Which also means that I am going to have challenges with markers running out, which is fine because I'm using them up. But apparently this is one BR66. I might have another one of those. I'll have to look. I do have a few spare markers, but I have these sitting on my desk, so my goal is to use them up and then put something else there in my rack. I mean, really what I should do is use as many as I can and then just get rid of what's left. This one a little bit darker. Let's see if this one does what I want it to do. Adventures in marker coloring. There we go. We can kind of what I wanted because I need to have some light spaces and some dark spaces. I think that we may require some pencil to fix this. That's okay. Because my buffalo is going to look a little weird. But this is honestly my first time coloring a buffalo, so all right, so I haven't finished talking about Manitoba. They have a lot of agriculture. They have strong roots in agriculture. They do have a lot of diverse landscapes. So they have forests, they have prairie grasslands, they have lakes, they have mountains, they have ski resorts up in the north. They obviously have plains, so it's like almost anything you can think of nature-wise they have. Because they've even got polar bears, so that means that there's ice at some point. And I don't know how cold. I assume that somebody can tell me like about the lake and how it freezes over, and if it does, I'm assuming it does. In the wintertime, so the polar bears can come. I look at the polar bear's head, or sorry, polar bear. I look at the buffalo's head. I might have to use like an acrylic marker. I never thought about that, like using that to go on the outside, because it looks like their fur is peeling off always, like up here. So I might have to do a little bit of that. I was trying to do it all with marker, but then I'm like, no, I probably don't have to. I could probably give it a nice, and their fur is like it looks like it's two different colors. So it's not terrible. I just need to give it a little bit of a, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of peely offy, sloughing off look. Words are not my friend today. So his face is dark also. You know, I think this needs to be a little darker down here. Oh, but what? Maybe this. I thought I used this really dark color down here, but guess I didn't. I thought I did. Okay. Let's do that and then see what happens. I'm putting a lot of marker layer on here. That's okay. It'll look good no matter what. So I need to do his head, which is actually kind of, let's see, this is my darkest color. Going back to this dark color again. Let's see. Like I said before, they have 2 national parks. They have Wapusk and Riding Mountain, as well as 90 provincial parks, which I assume are like here in America, every state has parks. They call them state parks. So provincial parks would make sense. That's what they call them. That's a nice amount. Should have looked up all the provincial parks to see what they were like. Let me turn my page. Oh, let's see. Besides polar bears and beluga whales, they have the world's largest mating dens for garter snakes. I kind of thought that would be interesting for people. Like, yeah, garter snake. Which garter snakes are just black snakes. They're not harmful. Even so, my friend Melissa would probably run over it with a car. She has serious issues with snakes. They don't bother me. Personally, I like them. I have held them. I have moved them. You do have to know what you're doing. I am by no means the alligator, what was it, Crocodile Dundee, or oh, what was his name, Steve, the Steve Irwin. I am no Steve Irwin, that's for sure. But you know, if you know the snakes that live in your area, education is a powerful thing. They feel really cool. But yeah, garter snakes are just black snakes. They eat rodents. They're not poisonous. I mean, I wouldn't want to get bitten by one because they would, I mean, you could still get your hand infected, but they're not poisonous. Um, so let's see, anything else? Riding Mountain is known for its diverse terrain. So it would probably, it's up here. No, Wapusk is up here. Riding Mountain is down here, I believe. It's a top destination for wildlife viewing, which they have elk and moose. black bears, white-tailed deer. That's very common to North America. They have plains bison, which is not really common, unfortunately. They were almost hunted to extinction, driven out. Um, so they have wolves, they have lynx, they have gray owls, which is the provincial bird. You can do all of the fun things. It's I would think of Manitoba seems like a very outdoorsy, wildernessy kind of place. I know my friend Chelsea is always going fishing, and it's like, wow. um, which is like, I love to go fishing. I love to fish. I grew up fishing with my dad. Um, the Wapusk, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. National Park is remote. So it sounds like you don't really go there unless you have a specific guided tour. Um, and they have things like that. They have a lot of good plant life despite the harsh conditions of the wilderness. I know that right now they have been experiencing wildfires, which is terrible and scary, and I do hope that they get those under control, because it is scary to be driven from your home, like that, and have to worry about, your home catching on fire. Just shouldn't be like that. And I want his nose to be a little bit lighter. Maybe like that. Is that his mouth or his nose? Anyway, there's my buffalo. Oh, I need some tail hair. I need some really light color for his poofta on his tail. These, these markers, I have always loved them because they aren't terribly, they don't bleed a lot, especially now that they're starting to run out. But they do blunt to bleed a lot. Like, why now? I think I might want to put another color in there. All right, so let's see. I want to do this. Oh, so many colors. Okay, so I have my colors for my gray owl left. Let's go ahead and put some color. I feel like coloring some water, so I want to see how my blue color is going to work out. Greenish blue for water. Ooh, that's a pretty color. I'm using my Copic for this. I have some Copic chows. Which I have decided I'm just going to collect colors of these that I need, because I can reliably get refills for them, for like my color by numbers and stuff. And they do have beautiful ink. I have to say, the ink is gorgeous. I just have to start buying refills. That's pretty. That's a pretty color. It's probably going to look interesting with my purple-ish background of the province. I feel like I'm just like this person who doesn't know anything. I haven't been there. I feel bad talking about places I haven't been, but it's kind of like maybe you're learning things that you didn't know. You're probably learning things you didn't know. I'm learning things I didn't know. And unless you live there, unless you live in a place, um, you know. Oh yes, I forgot. Okay, while we color the owl, if I can get him in, let him back out just a hair. We will talk about some legends because I was able to find a few legends. Oh, but I wanted to find a picture, so let me look up a picture really quick. I know I'm so prepared, but their first legend that I want to talk about is called the Manipogo. So these, he's like a cryptid. It is a cryptid. So it's a legendary serpentine creature believed to inhabit Lake Manitoba. Let's see, which is not on the map because there's no, well, wait, are there lakes on the map? There's Lake Winnipeg. Hang on. Didn't know. I'm gonna have to look up. Oh, here we go. So Lake Manitoba is, let's see if we can, Lake Winnipeg. Lake Manitoba is down. It's this one down here. This is Lake Winnipeg. Oops. So you're talking about Lake Manitoba down here at the bottom. Those are beautiful lakes. Ugh, they make me want to go fishing. So it is a serpentine creature that I did find a picture of it, sort of, or what it's supposed to look like. It looks like it's depicted as kind of like a giant snake. Yeah, pretty much a giant snake. So it says that it's believed to inhabit Lake Manitoba. Descriptions vary, but is often described as a dark body with multiple humps and a head resembling various animals. The size estimates between 12 and 50 feet. That's a very large size difference. um, the legend originates from Anishinaabe people. Ugh, I probably just butchered that. I apologize. Um, there are oral traditions where the creature was called Gichi Genepeg. Gichi Genebeg, the giant serpent, or a giant healer. The first recorded non-indigenous sighting was in 1909, and the name Manipogo was coined in 1960. Sightings continue intermittently. Skeptics suggest that it's a large sturgeon, a moose, or logs. So there you go. Few cryptid people, which I am one of them. I'm not judging. Actually, I want to do this crocus here really quick because it's on the bottom too, where the owl is, and I gotta color it. And I am taking way, way, way too much time. Way, way, way. Way, 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 way. Let's see. Color our prairie crocus really quickly. Oh, I didn't pull out any yellow for the middle part, but that's okay. I'll get some later. Next we have the Northern Lights, which is the Aurora Borealis. I don't know what the legends are other than oh yeah, that the spirits of ancestors dance in the lights of the Aurora Borealis. That's really cool. The next one is the Wendigo, which is a very popular cryptid for a number of people. Excuse me. It's a fearsome human-eating monster believed to be former humans who resorted to cannibalism during the famine. Among the Cree, Wendigo also describes gluttonous or aggressive individuals. So, hopefully I'm getting a good color for my prairie crocus, but I don't know if I picked an entirely accurate color. That's okay. Just put some of that in there. You know what? I'll add a little bit of the really dark color. But, well, I have an idea. So it'll either be really cool or look really awful. So what else do we have? We have ghosts and haunted locations like the Fort Garry Hotel, which is known for room 202, where a bride has said to have taken her life. They report seeing figures and hearing weeping. St. Andrew's on the Red Anglican Church is also associated with paranormal activity. So you've got your normal paranormal activity in different places. Let's see. I don't know how this is going to look, but we're going to find out. Blend it out with a little marker. Like I said, really cool or really awful. Let's see right here. I might just have to go all dark with this one because the white isn't working out. That's my fault. That's okay. Anything else cool? The Legend of the White Horse Plane. Tragic love story between Cree Chief and Assiniboine Chief's daughter. Okay. Isn't there always a love story somewhere? A sad love story, more than likely, because that's how it goes. Just do it this way. And I have no idea if I am saying that name Assibony or Siboney or so after the lovers were killed, they were killed, doesn't say how, they escaped. The white horse escaped and was said to roam the plain carrying the bride's soul. The area became known as the White Horse Plain in their memory. My crocus is not coming out like I imagined. That's okay. It will be pretty, I'm sure. Right? I gotta look up where the White Horse Plain is because I don't know if I can fix this. I am way out of practice with markers. Looks terrible. That's okay. That is okay. I do need like an orangey, kind of an orangey yellow. Maybe not that orange. Maybe like this orange. Like I said, I forgot to, yeah, that won't work. You know, an orangey yellow for the center. I could do this color now. Okay. Now I gotta look up where the White Horse Plain is. See, this is the adventure, right? Because if we were there, we'd be like, ooh, where's this place? Let's find it. Let's see, White Horse Plain, Manitoba. Near present-day Saint Francois Xavier. Hmm. Known for its unique legend of a white horse and its significance as a gathering place for First Nations and Métis people. Let's see if I can find the White Horse Plain or pictures of the White Horse Plain because, ooh, there's a horse statue. Look at that. There's a horse statue there. White Horse Monument. It's beautiful. I totally want to see it. I want to go there now. All right, I found the White Horse Plain. It is outside of, for those of us who don't live there, it's outside of Winnipeg, down right over here, and it looks like so awesome. I mean, I'm sure, like, don't we all love, like, this is kind of what the area looks like. So we're gonna read the story because why? Because I want to know what the story is, and it's probably simple. And I have not vetted this story. It's just a legend. Okay, so we can color the owl while we're reading the story of the White Horse Plain because I think it's cool. See, this is what you do on vacation. You just go on a tangent, right? Okay. But before we do that, why don't we draw to see like where we're going the next time, right? All right, so for those of you who are interested, let's see, I'm gonna dump them out because this thing is really full, right? And I've mixed them up really good. So we're gonna pick that one right there. I'm gonna put the rest of these back in. Lots of little papers. Look at all these little papers that I have. I have no idea what I just picked. Yes, there was a lot of folding and strip cutting involved. It took me a few days because I would just sit and when I was sitting, you know, when I needed 5 minutes, I would cut a few strips off. But I thought it would be more fun than using a spinning wheel, right? I just need to do this more elegantly. We'll just try pulling it out the next time. They should be mixed up really good. All right, so where are we going for day 3 of our vacation? It's gonna be a really long vacation. Totally random. I can't get the strip open. All right. We are going to, Africa, Chad. Oh, that'll be fun. All right, so we're going to Chad. I have a friend named Chad. He's 7 feet tall. Not lying. Okay, anyway, back to this. So, great owl. So I've got some colors for my great owl. Let me just look at my picture of my owl really quick because he's going to be fun. I got to figure out how I was doing my colors because they have browns and grays in them. That is not my great horned owl. This is my, God, I have all of my colors mixed up. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, all right. I hope that's part of my owl. Oh, if not, so be it. I mean, he's really light colored, so this won't take long. All right, back to the story. So we're gonna read this legend really quickly. You know, it's gonna take me time to get really good at these, right? I got plenty of time to be honest. because there's going to be a lot of these. All right, we got my owl. So, a Cree chief had a very beautiful daughter. Figure out what color I'm starting with. I'm going to base him in this gray color. Okay. Cree chief had a very beautiful daughter who was sought after by many brave warriors, and there were two suitors who led the rivalry for her hand, a Cree chief from Lake Winnipegosis and a Sioux chief from Devil's Lake. The girl herself favored the Cree warrior, and when he brought a beautiful white horse from Mexico as a gift for her father, the man agreed to the marriage, which is very cool. So this is our gray owl. I'm gonna base him in like this gray color, and then we're gonna put some browns and stuff on top. Let me just get that in there. I'm working in this delicate area. Okay. All right. The Sioux chief was enraged by the rejection of his suit. So let's see. To recap, the Cree warrior there were two suitors, a Cree chief from, oh, okay. So the Cree warrior, the girl liked the Cree warrior. Okay. The Sioux chief was enraged by the rejection of his suit. On the day of the wedding, he gathered a war party and came thundering across the plains toward the home of the beautiful maiden. The Cree chief tossed his lovely bride on top of the white horse and leapt upon his own gray steed. The couple fled to the west with the rejected Sioux and his war party on their heels. The canny Cree chief doubled back several times, and the couple hid among the prairie bluffs. For a time, it seemed as if they had lost the Sioux, but once they were on the plains again, the beautiful white horse was visible for miles, and the war party soon found them. A rain of arrows fell upon the fleeing lovers, and the warrior and his bride fell dead from their mounts. At once, the Sioux captured the gray steed, but the white horse evaded them. One man claimed he saw the spirit of the young bride enter into the horse just before it fled from their clutches. The white horse roamed the prairies for many years following the death of the Cree warrior and his lovely bride. The inhabitants feared to approach the horse since the spirit of the maiden dwelled within it. Long after its physical body passed away, the soul of the white horse continued to gallop across the plains, and the land where it roamed became known as the White Horse Plain. They say that the soul of the white horse continues to haunt the prairie to this very day. A statue of the white horse was erected at St. Francois Xavier on the Trans-Canada Highway west of Winnipeg to remind all who see it of the phantom white horse and the beautiful maiden who once rode it. Oh, there's too many stories in history that are like that, you know? There's a beautiful maiden, there's two suitors, and then somebody ends up dying. And then there's a ghost, right? Isn't that how it usually is? Such a sad story. Well, we didn't think it was going to be a happy story, but that is the legend of the White Horse Plain and the White Horse. All right, so this part around his eyes is really dark gray. Hopefully this isn't too dark. Hopefully I didn't go too far. I might have. That's okay. He can just be a really spiffy gray owl, can't he? Alright, so I know those go outside. So that's really, I mean, I'm sure there are so many things about Manitoba, um, like that I haven't even touched upon. I mean, it seems like an amazing place, and I'm not gonna lie, I would love to go on vacation there. Of course, there's a lot of places in Ohio that I want to go, or in the United States too. I mean, like, it's just impossible to go. I don't know. I'm sure there's someone who's been everywhere, right? I should have. Um, it was like a thin band, so I'm trying to kind of fade this out just a little bit right here because I made it too dark around his head. So now we'll see. I mean, I could always maybe fix it with acrylic marker, right? I'm just doing fabulous on this, aren't I? All right, so we're going to take a little bit of brown because he has some brown mixed in. Is this going to look like a real owl? I don't know. Probably not. Let's see. He's got some brown here and there on his feathers. He's very interesting set of colors. The gray owl has an awful lot of brown. But not, I mean, not really dark brown. Now I fear that my dark brown is going to be really dark. Because he's got some little brown bands across. How hinky is my owl? Got a little beak. I need to make his eyes like a glowing yellow color. I need to take my middle gray and kind of I have a feeling this is not going to be a stellar work of art, but you know what? It's fine. The problem is I've been really, really busy lately. As usual, my summers are insane. So I had this research done, and then I didn't get to do the video because I want to aim for at least every 2 weeks on these videos. I'm like, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. And then, spur of the moment, I finally had time to do it. And I don't know, not nearly as prepared as I thought I was. He has like a little gray. Let's put that there. Let's do that. All right. I mean, I feel like I need more dark brown in here. But he has like these, like, they have like these dark brown stripes across there, like certain, wherever their brown is, and it's not a solid you know, it's just a little bit of brown here and there. There's not like a ton of brown. So I just want to fade it out a little bit. I might have to try to fix his face a little bit. I might have to look at some more pictures of great horned owls and see if any of them look like this. This is fun though. I mean, you know, I'm not perfect. I certainly don't color perfect, but by doing this, I'm getting better at it. I just kind of go in waves. I get out of the habit and then I forget how I do things and how I like to do things. And I'll put some white in him. I'll get one of my white gel pens and put some white in here. And hopefully in the end he won't look that bad. Yeah, that's better. I get some down under here. I mean, he has more white, but I figured I could put the white on top, right? And then maybe that's where, you know, he'll finally come together when I do his white parts. Because they all have an ugly stage, right? And I'm not taking my own advice where always let the marker dry and then decide, because I find that sometimes after the marker dries, it looks better than you thought it was going to. It's just weird how he has all these little brown streaks here and there, like around his face. But his eyes are like this. What do I have that's gonna be? Oh, this might work. I gotta see what color this is. I think it's gonna be green. I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, it's too green. I need a greenish. Ooh, highlighter. That might work. Because his eyes are yellow. Like this odd color of yellowy gold. And so they look through you. Oh, I just realized I never finished my crocus stem. Let's see, what color did I have for my crocus stem? Now that I've got all of my colors mixed up. Here is this. All right. So I wanted to do this. So what I'm going to do, and I certainly hope that you have enjoyed your travel with us today. Please come back another time and we can color together. I am going to finish coloring this. I'll either speed it up or I'll just come back in a minute and show you at the end so you can see the finished picture. Or I'll just speed it up, because speeding it up still only takes about 20 seconds for you to watch me color the picture, right? So you can see. I don't know if people would rather see things sped up or just see the end result. You know what I mean? But I love this color. I gotta get me some more. I gotta finish out my Copics, because this color right here is beautiful. Yep. All right, so let me finish this and I will be back. All right, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I think I stopped the camera and then I thought I started it back up, or maybe it's shut off for some reason. So I didn't get the second part of me coloring this, but I wanted to talk about the national parks. Also, I did finish this. I picked red and green because of the Manitoba flag. Um, it actually came out rather well. Super happy with my buffalo. Look how I made all of my little mountaintops sparkly. I like my owl too. Could be better, but it's a process. So I wanted to talk about the national parks a little bit. You've got Riding Mountain, which is um, outside of Winnipeg. It is about 3,000 kilometers worth of space, or 1,150 square miles of space. The land was actually set aside in 1895 um, as a conservation of different habitats, and the First Nations peoples have been living there for thousands of years. Um, it's the highest point in the region. It actually didn't become a national park until 1933 officially. So it's been around for a while. It um, does have a city. There's only one city that is a commerce area. It has a lot of visitors every year. Obviously, it's down here where Winnipeg is, so you would think it would get lots of visitors. Um, so it looks amazing to visit. I would love to go there. Um, Lots of different habitats, wildlife, trails. Temperature is pretty normal. It has a pretty normal climate range from summer to winter. I say that because Wapusk is very different. Because when you go up to Wapusk, it sits on the transitional line of where the permafrost is and the tundra. It's kind of, I'm not a, uh, what do I want to call it, climatologist or whatever. Um, it's a large transition zone between three different biomes, which is the Arctic tundra and your marine portion and your boreal forest. So it's where the polar bears come in the summertime to stay while they wait for the ice to melt back. But it seems like a very challenging environment to be in. Um, I would say it's cold all the time, but that's not true. Because it does have a summer. It's either summer or winter. I don't think it has it in between. June, July, and August are the summer, and the temperature can range from minus 14 degrees Celsius, right? Or no, minus 10 degrees Celsius, which is 14 degrees Fahrenheit, or 36, 35, which is 90 something Fahrenheit. So that's a huge temperature swing, right? I mean, you wouldn't, it says there's a lot of wind. Of course, there's a tundra, so that would, and with the temperature, if the temperature is changing, that would cause a lot of wind also. But it sounds not terrifically pleasant. It does say that in 2022 and 2023 there were 82 visitors to the park, so I don't think it gets a lot of visitors. I mean, I can tell you because my friend Chelsea, she lives up here and she goes to Winnipeg, and that's 8 hours worth of drive. So it's quite long. It's quite the distance here. Um, Wapusk is 3,000, 30, almost 4,000 square miles. Or no, it is 4,000 square miles. It's 11,000 square kilometers. So it's huge. It has a huge peat bog. It sounds fascinating. All the different environments mixed together. Um, but it does, I think, have a permanent permafrost layer, which the ground is always frozen. Seems kind of weird to think of that and then think of it getting to 95 degrees or, 35 degrees Celsius. So, a couple of super cool parks. If either of you have been there, if anybody has been there, let me know. Because I want to go now to all of them. But so that's a little bit about the national parks. Now remember, we drew where we're going the next time. So the next time, day 3 of our trip around the world, we are going to Chad in Africa. So that'll be fun. I know nothing about it, so I gotta learn. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this adventure. I hope you all had a good time. Leave your questions and comments in the I can't talk today. Questions and comments below. Um, I'm not a professional tour guide, so I'm learning, so bear with me. And I'm also getting ready to go on a trip, so I apologize. This may not have been as um, inclusive as I would have liked it to be. But anyway, have a great day wherever you are. Happy coloring, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.